Team Wilder gets an offer from Eddie Hearn to fight Dillian Whyte or Derek Chisora, and they said they're not even dignifying that. Stay tuned. Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Shout out to worldboxingnews.net, link in the description. Deontay Wilder's co-manager Shelly Finkel has responded to Eddie Hearn's latest offer, and I'm gonna try to unpack some of it in this particular video, but it sounds like it's some more bullshit from what he's saying. Basically, they got a contract to fight against Joshua, but things that were okayed and agreed upon in the first contract are worse now. And Eddie Hearn already made the notion that he's going to offer a fight with Derek Chisora or Dillian Whyte to Wilder, and they said they're not having it unless AJ's attached to it. Then they're not doing it. They're not fighting who you want with the hopes of fighting AJ in April or whatever the situation is. This is what Shelly Finkel told World Boxing News directly. Quote, "As far as Eddie Hearn making us offers for Dillian Whyte or even Derek Chisora, it's not even worth dignifying. If you want to be in the business and you want to get something done, pick up a phone or meet in person and get it done. We laughed the other night on Sunday at Eddie's offers because he also sent it to Deontay, and we believe it's a joke." So they're laughing at the offer. And then it says, on Whyte being a potential opponent for Joshua himself in April as Wilder's expense, Finkel stated, quote, "If they want to fight Dillian Whyte, who almost got knocked out by Joseph Parker in the last round, and if there was another round he probably would have, go do it. Do you want to fight Gerald Miller? Go do it. If that's what you want to do, or face Chisora, who is recycled and did it better than Joshua, go do it. What do you want me to tell you? The guy you should be fighting, you don't want to, and that's it. With all the bullshit they talk about with Dillian Whyte this and Dillian Whyte that, they don't mention the fact he was supposed to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz and he backed out. Also, Joseph Parker is not known as a puncher, and he had Whyte on the canvas. The bottom line is, we won't be discussing anything regarding Dillian Whyte unless the Anthony Joshua fight gets made first." End quote. Wow. So I told you guys this was coming. The walls are closing in for Anthony Joshua and Team Joshua, all the games, all the shenanigans and stuff like that. And inadvertently, they've given Team Wilder more power than they thought. They thought they were going to just strong arm the game, and AJ was the guy with the belts and he was the A side, so they would just use that, and then fans would stay on their side. But slowly but surely, I feel fans are starting to fade and come to the realization, even fighters. You have Tyson Fury who says, "I'm a real British fighter. I'm down to fight Deontay Wilder. I'm not scared of no man," right? And if that happens this year, then that makes Joshua's side look bad, because how is it that a former lineal champion, Tyson Fury, can come off of a 3-year absence and inactivity and easily make a fight with Deontay Wilder, but yet it was so hard for Eddie Hearn and Joshua to go back and forth and create a lucrative, valid offer for both parties. And they gave up the opportunity to fight in America for $50 million, which is literally unheard of. So this is all a bad look as far as I'm concerned. And you see it because now, like I said, they tried so hard to press the issue and to pin the tail on the donkey and make Deontay Wilder appear to be such a B-side, such an unfavorable fight, and this, and he doesn't draw shit to flies or flies to shit, whatever. And it's backfired, because now you've inadvertently given Wilder's side more ammunition, because the world just seen Dillian Whyte versus Joseph Parker, and he did get hurt in that last round, right? So this is a guy, Joshua, who already knocked out Dillian Whyte. He already knocked him out. So are you really going to scale Wembley up to 100,000 plus for Dillian Whyte as a non-champion to make that fight? Is it really going to do that? Like, I can understand Carl Froch and George Groves doing 90,000 at Wembley because that was a meaningful fight. And the first one ended highly controversially. You know what I mean? It was highly controversial. But the first Joshua and Dillian Whyte fight was not controversial at all. Joshua had a vicious uppercut, I think, that set things up, sent Dillian Whyte to the canvas. Dillian Whyte got hurt by Robert Helenius. He got hurt, obviously, by Joseph Parker. He hurt Joseph Parker. You know, it was a war. But I just don't see that fight doing 100,000 under these circumstances. I think Derek Chisora versus Dillian Whyte would be a good rematch because I thought Chisora won that. And Derek Chisora just kind of extended his career with a knockout of Carlos Takam, and he did it, most people, or a lot of people would say, better than AJ. And then some people are even saying Dillian Whyte beat Joseph Parker better than AJ, you know, because he at least knocked him down. So I think Gerald Miller, Dillian Whyte, they should fight like a Luis Ortiz. Like, those are good fights, or fight each other. Dillian Whyte versus Gerald Miller. You know, there's a lot of good fights out there. So I feel Wilder's side. Now, like I said, you tried to paint them into a corner, but you've actually given them power. Because now, what is Joshua? Let's say he gets past Povetkin. Who is he going to fight? Dillian Whyte? Is that a 100,000 plus Wembley fight? You know, him getting hurt in the 12th round, like Finkel's mentioning, him not having a title. Like, he's done good for his career since the Joshua loss, but I don't see it being a 100,000 plus mega fight. And I understand how loyal the UK fans are, but it's just, you would have to have very cheap tickets to make it this massive. Like, people generally didn't know who was going to win, Carl Froch, George Groves. Obviously, Joshua Klitschko was a huge feat too, but that's because Klitschko had been doing this thing for years. Even though he's coming off a loss, people respect Klitschko and his brother and his body of work, and it was a big fight for the UK in the heavyweight division. You know, Gerald Miller, he told me in the past, I don't know if it's changed, that he's not trying to go to the UK and deal with the politics to fight AJ. So I thought Joshua's next fight is Wembley. So is Gerald Miller going to come to Wembley? You know, so who's Joshua really going to fight, especially if Wilder fights Tyson Fury? So like I said, we'll see what happens. The walls are closing in, and all the games and stuff and taunts from Eddie Hearn, they've backed their own fighter into a corner, and it's revealed more than they've expected. Now Shelly, Finkel, and Wilder are able to receive a contract and laugh because they had options like Tyson Fury, even though people didn't believe that it would be possible. You know, they're like, oh, whoever Wilder fight, he's going to fight Dominic Breazeale. So now if he fights Tyson Fury, that's a game changer because that's a hell of a fight. That's a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And then now this is saying that Joshua gets past Povetkin, because Povetkin, that could be a danger. You know what I mean? Joshua could lose stock fighting Povetkin. Like, even if he wins, what if he doesn't look good and doesn't look sharp, then that hurts the Joshua Wilder fight. So it's a lot going on here, but Finkel, he's ruling out Wilder facing Dillian Whyte. So that's another Eddie Hearn plan that has been cornered. And Eddie Hearn's been trying to throw Dillian Whyte on him. And I told you, my honest thoughts is because he wants to set up, if he can, an all British unification, a matchroom British undisputed unification. So he's hoping Dillian Whyte could beat Deontay Wilder, even though he wouldn't be favored. But worst case scenario, if Wilder fights Dillian Whyte, let's say he were to knock him out, then that's a UK fighter, and it would add and bolster Wilder's resume, making the Joshua fight, which is inevitable. Because I think Eddie Hearn is smart enough to realize that they have to fight Wilder at some point if they keep winning. You know what I mean? Because the fans are going to it's going to keep hurting Joshua's stock because he's the one that's perceived as stalling the fight. Even guys like Tyson Fury have been on record and said that they believe this is Team Joshua's doing, among others, like myself. So the pressure is on AJ. We'll see what happens next. Let me know what you guys think. But I'm good with this, what Finkel's saying. I don't think they should be looking for Dillian Whyte. They should be looking at Tyson Fury, former lineal champion, take care of a mandatory because that's business, like Dominic Brazil, or, you know, fight Joshua, get the Joshua fight. But what does the Dillian Whyte fight represent other than getting some money? Because Eddie Hearn is desperate to land Wilder on DAZN versus anybody not named AJ, so he's willing to fork out a bunch of cash. So I mean, Wilder can do that, but I think Wilder's showing time and time again he is a person of principle. Like fighting Luis Ortiz showed you that. He didn't have to fight Luis Ortiz. That was a dangerous foe, and if you're in the middle of getting a big fight, a lot of guys wouldn't take that gamble. A great fighter like Luis Ortiz, sharp Cuban, can get on his toes and box, is aggressive, is a southpaw. A lot of guys ain't trying to fight that. You know what I mean? And Wilder did it. He said, I'll take out AJ's trash. That was AJ's mandatory. So walls are closing in. Let me know what you guys think. They said they're not trying to fight Dillian Whyte, and I'm okay with that. Dillian Whyte, I think, could fight Gerald Miller, Big Baby Miller, and Whyte. That would be a great build-up. And then Luis Ortiz. Those are the options I think would be very good for Dillian Whyte. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.